1580, turn right 070, intercept.
1580, right 070, intercept.
Okay, here we are again. We're going to do something a little different today. Getting here so that I can see. See what we're doing. And not have the camera stop working halfway through, although my battery is starting to run low on the camera. I've got a battery plugged into it, but we should probably hurry. Is the bottom line. So I'm going to try to fly SimVenture on PilotEdge later this week. And to do that, looks like we have a bad FIP. Go. To do that, we need to probably get familiar with the procedure, the NOTAM, and the scenery. So I've got that loaded up, and we're going to try that out here. We are at Dodge County, which is about, oh, I don't know, 15-20 minutes flight from the first visual reporting point, which is Buckaway Lake. Depending, sometimes they bring you into Green Lake, sometimes they bring you directly into Ripon, might be Ripon. And then up to Fisk, and then Fisk you either make a right-hand turn and follow Fisk Avenue, or you follow the railroad tracks up, and then come into Osh from that side. So you're really supposed to fly this visually without the GPS, but I want to make sure the scenery is correct and be just a little familiar before I try it. This weekend, I'm going to try it this weekend with a buddy who's a pilot too, so that should be interesting. And we'll just see how it goes. And I've got general procedure here of what we're supposed to do. Anybody tunes in and is watching could give me a message if the audio is too loud with the ATC. That would be helpful. I don't want it to be louder than me. I want you guys to be able to hear me just fine. So weather, Kavak, which is great. For some reason, I'm getting real-world weather in the slave machine. No idea why, but mine is not to wonder why. Mine is but to make sure the simulator is not completely messing up all the time. We would do a radio check in the real world. I guess there's no reason we can't try that. COM 1 and then COM 2. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, enter, swap. Oops. There we go, and then I should be able to activate both and then check it out. Radio check. PilotEdge, that would then come back to me and I would hear the radio check. We've done that. ATS, we want ATS on COM 2 to be tuned to Osh, so we pick it up as early as we can, 125.9. A little rusty on the buttonology.
American 1559 coming right 070 down to 5,000, intercept the localizer. American 1559, how was the ride there?
There we go.
American 1559, last 5 or 6 miles.
Yeah, I don't think that the ATC audio is too loud. That's Chicago approach and departure over the top of us, and we're listening to it through live ATC, just for giggles. We've got dead wind here, but looking at the windsock right in front of me, looks like we want to probably take off on, what would that be, 20? Yep, 20, especially since the other one appears to be closed. So runway 20, I always like having my heading heading bug set, just in case we have to come back. I know what runway heading we're dealing with. And we're going to fly up to the lake, Buckaway Lake first, and then follow the approach in. We're supposed to be 1,800 feet. Let's bug that for altitude. And 90 knots is our speed limit on this. Transponder 1200 squawking C. And we want to Squawk, altitude, mode C. Okay, we're doing that. All lights on for this. And then we are going to be listening to Fisk approach on 120.7. Wrong one. Sharon 5000. Sharon, share alike. 1, 2, 0.
536, Chicago approach, 10 center, hello. United 1710, descend and maintain 5,000. Descend to 5,000, United 1710.
Okay, so we've got Fisk approach loaded. Tower frequency for Osh, be the next thing we'd be listening to, is 118.5.
5992, turn right heading, 360. Right turn 360.
I'll have that ready to go. Okay, so we got the ATIS on 2. We're listening to. We've got approach on 1. We would make a ground call here in the real world, but there's nobody here, and we'll just go with it. You guys could give me a chat. Let me know how it looks. That would be great. So we'd make our call Dodge County, where are we in? Cessna 15 Julie Golf. We'll be taxiing to 20 for departure to the south.
536, send and maintain 5,000. Send to 5,000, American 536.
Gonna hit that fuel truck.
5992, turn right 070, intercept. Right turn 070, intercept, Skywest 5992. 5992, 3 miles from Sharon, cross Sharon 5,000, cleared ILS approach 10 center, reduce speed to 180. Sharon 5,000, cleared ILS 10 center, speed 180 knots, Skywest 5992.
A little run up under our belt here.
American 865, turn right 360. Heading 360, American 865. Crush number 4390, lane quick 4390, Chicago, right, 10 center, hello. 10 center, hello.
My key is a little off. We just hit the starter, which freaked out the, that's funny, it freaked that out. Okay. Looks great, sounds great. Good. Let's try to get this done before I run out of batteries on the camera. Dodge County, Cessna 15 Julie Golf departing 20. Flaps. We got the flap handle and flap lights working.
Runway 20.
Nobody coming.
Entered runway 20. 4,000 feet remaining.
Sorry, I'm getting an iPad notification.
865, reduce speed to 180. Slow to 180, American.
One of the things I did, I'll talk about it after takeoff here, is I adjusted the field of view on the main screen and the side screens. There's actually trigonometry that tells you, based on the size of the screen, what the field of view's vertical and horizontal should be to have things be the way they should be seen in the real world, the size in the real world. Wow. I've got no rudder deflection. Let's pause here for a second. Find out what's going on. No, I mean I've got no aileron deflection. Sometimes this Cirrus yoke it's working fine. Don't quite know what that's about. Let's try to figure it out. I don't think it's the crosswind. I don't know what's going on. Huh. That was weird. Trim maybe? That was a little scary, wasn't it? She isn't turning.
Right, heading 360, making 536.
I don't know why that would be.
1710, 4 from Sharon, cross Sharon at 5,000, cleared ILS approach 10 center. Cross Sharon 5,000, cleared ILS 10 center, United 7.
I can turn with the rudder. She's fine going that way. She doesn't want to go that way. Calibration problem, maybe? Think that could be it? Well, we'll just deal with it. We'll act like we had to fly with a wounded airplane. A lot of rudder and some aileron. We're just about 1,800 feet. This thing keeps asking me if it wants my iPad to connect, which is a pain.
Target 536, turn right 070, intercept.
070, intercept back at 536. Chicago number 41.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've got no problem.
Target 536, 4 from Sharon, cross Sharon 5,000, cut off approach 10
Huh.
center.
All right, well, we'll just try to fly it like this.
5,000, cleared by ILS 10 center.
Try to make it work.
90, turn right 360.
Gotta make it work. I'm gonna unplug this iPad. It's not helping. We're a little high because I've been messing with that. Let's just quickly calibrate this stick. See if that helps.
180 to Ray, tower there, United 1710, good night.
I was messing with some joystick settings and I might have messed it up. We'll find out soon enough. Nice thing about having a simulator is you're not limited by actually being up in the sky. Nope. Must be a failure or something. Interesting. All right, well, it'll be good exercise, good experience for me. All right, we're about 10 minutes from the lake. So I'll talk trigonometry while we're doing that. So basically, or if I can put level on and it will take care of it. Yeah, that's a little easier. Okay, so let's see if it keeps trying to drift. Yeah, see that? Maybe it's giving me a failure.
4175, increase your rate of descent to 5. I'm going to slow you soon. Roger, we're going down to 5, number 4175. Thanks, sir.
There's a place where you have it simulate failures. No idea.
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Heavy, inbound Giorgio, 7,000 feet.
Notification settings, sound settings. If anybody knows and can throw it into the chat, that would be handy.
Yeah, heading 070 to intercept 10 center.
In the meantime, I'll try to keep her straight and level. And I'll respond to the chat as we go. Good evening, Brian. Do I use Immersive LCD Pro? I don't know what that means. Immersive LCD Pro, not quite sure what that is. But if you can tell me what that is, I'd be more than happy to tell you if I use it.
Number 4175, turn right at 360. 360, number 4175.
Sounds like something keeps connecting and disconnecting, doesn't it? All right, well, we'll just simulate that we're flying a wounded bird. That's the bottom line. That'll be a good experience. So Charlie, if you could tell me what Immersive LCD Pro is, I could tell you if I use it or not. I'd be happy to do that. Discopy. Autopilot here and lose a little altitude. Yeah. It looks like I'm only getting partial deflection. Maybe not. No idea. Well, if this was the real world, we would turn around and go back and land. But it's not the real world. So we're going to chug along here at 2,000 feet, and then eventually we're going to level off at 1,800 for the approach into Oshkosh. Osh ATIS 125.9er. That's what I've got on. Haven't heard it yet. So used to flying the Cirrus that when I'm in the Cessna, it's unusual for its speed. I'm along at 118 rather than 150. But that's okay. Secret warping software. I know about that, Charlie. I don't, because my understanding is that it doesn't warp as easily when you've got displays of different sizes. This is a 65 or 70 inch. These are 27, maybe. And so I just have them all set to their own windows and their own dimensions. And by using the trigonometry, and I just went into ChatGPT, and what you do is you measure the distance from the eye point to the screen, and you give the dimensions of the screen. So I gave it the dimensions of that, and these. Said the camera, which is the eye point, is 40 inches from that, 26 inches from that, and it gives you a field of view that not only is matched, but has the things that you're seeing appear the same size that they would appear in the real world. So that prop and that cowling should look from the camera's position about the right size for how they should be in the real world. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. And what I find is that if I have the camera in the right spot, the lines in taxiways and runways and things like that match up without much problem. That's what I find. I do a quick check on the battery. See how we're doing. 37. We should be fine. All right, good. That looks pretty good. This is, excuse me, ortho scenery. And then X-Plane produces a pretty significant, turn the flight director off, a pretty significant scenery download for all the stuff that's on the ground at Oshkosh, etc. So I went to ChatGPT, told it what I was trying to do, and it said, here's what your field of view should be, vertical and horizontal in X-Plane. They're matched, so you set the vertical and it automatically sets the horizontal, vice versa. And it makes for a pretty good alignment, but importantly it makes the runways and the things on the screen appear about the right size in the real world. And I'd always tried to estimate that before, but it never really was right. And a little trigonometry solved that problem right away. Okay, we're about 6 minutes from the lake, from the first lake, Puckaway, And in the real procedure, when you get to that lake, you are at 1,800 feet, and you fall into line. We're supposed to be at a standard barometer here, 2992. Looks like there's a nice golf course coming up here on the side. I can give you a view of that in a second. Nothing wrong with a nice golf course. I also set up some key bindings to the to some of the switches here in the cockpit so that I can switch your view over. That would be a view with the iPad, which I've unplugged. This is a view out the side window, should be at least. You can see Wisconsin sliding by. That golf course is down here in a minute. Parts of it. So, hopefully that, yeah, I can see that's working in the chat. So go, if you have multiple screens, go do a little trick. Ask one of the AIs, give them the dimensions, see what you get. And it should help it be a bit more immersive. Let's see. Huh, all right, Charlie, well maybe I should look at that. It matches the horizon and it also matches the size of the objects. Because if it does, I'd be quite interested in that. Cubs win. How do you compensate for the crab eye effect when sitting from the pilot seat? Yeah, you don't. Now what's interesting is I have terrible weather out this window, and I've got great weather out these two. For the first time that I've had these two machines slaved together, it's not matching the weather over here. It tells me it is. If I set the weather, it says that it's clear and forever, but it's not actually doing it. So that's interesting. Doesn't matter. This is the one that's deciding how things work, although I've got rain flying by out this window, which is funny. Yeah, so I mean, the crab eye is just part of the deal. Like in a normal airplane, I'd be looking straight ahead, and I would feel like I was in the center of the runway. And there's just no way to adjust for that, near as I can tell, in this. So you just sort of have to live with it. I just look over here when I'm landing. You know, that's pretty much what you have to do. Mission 920, yeah, so they went you low for this approach. Like 1,000 feet off the deck. Okay, so that's Green Lake up there. No, that's Green Lake up there. We can get a view of looking up that way. And in front of me, that there is Puckaway Lake. So I'm going to fly to the southeast corner of that, and then in the real world, and I guess this weekend in SimVenture, you get in line, half a mile in trial from the people behind you, and you stay 90 knots at 1,800 feet. Having seen that, and given the time, I don't know that I'll fly the whole. Let's see, that's going to give me another. Oh, it's only another 3 minutes. We'll just stick with it. There we go. I can pull this nav screen up. I don't know if it's sharp enough for you to be able to see, but it's I've got that configured in OBS. Okay.
maintain 5,000, so establish on the localizer. Cleared ILS, runway 10.
Yeah, I agree. In the air you don't really notice it, but when you're on a runway, it really doesn't. You're staring over here. No doubt about that.
Approach 2155, 7,210 knots.
2165, car approach, hello, runway 10 center. Thank you.
I've got the trim tab leaned all the way over, it's still not. So we're basically controlling, keeping ourselves straight and level with trim and a mixture of rudder pressure. I would not want to be in this situation in the real world. Okay, 1,800 feet coming up. We're going to start to slow to 90 knots here in a second.
Envoy 4146, this is maintain 5,000. 5,000, Envoy 4146. Envoy 3869, terrain 360.
Nice view out the side. The SimHaven X-World does a really great job of putting objects on top of OSM data. Like those farmhouses and silos are exactly where they should be, which looks really great. Looks like there's a little grass strip that we just flew by.
Southern Cargo 2501 Heavy, maintain 170 knots to Ray at Ray on our tower 120.75.
Okay, time to slow to 90. And we'll line up and join here. Still haven't heard the ATIS.
Envoy 3869, turn radio 060 with the localizer.
Right 060, intercept 10.
So that's Green Lake coming up there. We basically fly up the short line of that. Down to 100 knots.
Envoy 3869 is 5 miles from Ruta, maintain 4,000 to establish the localizer, clear ILS, runway 10 center approach, and maintain 170 knots to Ray.
Maintain 170 knots to Ray, 4,000 to establish clear ILS.
Basically right up in that little part of the lake is where we want to join.
Maintain 4,000.
Turn 360 to maintain 4,000,
2155.
92 knots. Getting just about right. Little power now. Alright, pretty good. We'll just hand fly it. Keep it on those numbers. It would be cool to go to Oshkosh in the real world. Never been there. I live in Florida and Sun and Fun isn't very far from where I am, and I went to that once. But it's a little sad to not go when it's so close. Alright, Green Lake. You can actually see that we've got the reporting point right there. Thanks to my Navigraph subscription. We're at 1,800 feet. We're doing 94 knots. There's a touch of power out. Now we start the parade. So, we got about 15 minutes at this speed. Well, I'm not going to actually go at 90 knots. Like we know that I'll do that this weekend. But there's no point in my crawling around here. Live traffic, the plugin is working great. I've got some contrails up there, which is cool for traffic that's up there in the real world. Keep at the altitude though. Don't get distracted. You don't want to get yelled at. We're going to just fly right up this coast. In fact, follow these power lines. still raining out this window. This is an interesting flight. We've got a number of issues. We've got inconsistent weather. We've got a aileron that doesn't want to turn the airplane right. Or, on the other hand, it really wants to turn it left. That was really going on. If I let go, where does it want to go? It wants to pitch up, for one thing. Got it trimmed. If I just let go, what does it want to do? It wants to drift left because it doesn't turn right. Huh. Okay, well, we figured out what the issue is. 1,800 feet. 3 days at Osh. I bet. I think it'd be cool to be there for 3 days. It'd be cool to fly into it. Not doing a very good job of hand flying here, in part because I'm distracted. We'll have a co-pilot on. We'll have a co-pilot later this week. That'll make things a little easier. Let me turn on that display for you guys. And I can make it a little bigger so it's a little easier to see. There we go. That looks good. Boy, the screen looks good. Sim looks good. All right, we're coming up to Ripon. That's that town right in front of us, and then we should be looking for the railroad tracks at Ripon. And there's road and there's railroad tracks, and you want to follow the railroad tracks and not the road. And from looking at it, it looks like that's the road. Those are the railroad tracks. So we are too high. We need to lose a little altitude here.
92155 at Ray or Tower 120.75.
Tower Ray, 92155 will do.
Not sure if I like that display on there. I think it's not adding any value. Just hide it.
Sliver 4447, terrain 060, that's the localizer.
Okay. Boy, it sure looks good though. We've come a long way. Like I played the original flight simulator on Apple II that was black and white and just had a little stick figure airplane. That's how old I am. There's the silos. The silos are where the railroad tracks go. I can see the silos. They're right there. We're at 1,800 feet. We're going to follow the railroad tracks to Fisk, and then at Fisk we make a decision. I haven't heard the weather at Osh. Not sure why. Do I perhaps have ATC messages turned off? In fact, I do.
Oshkosh information, Bravo.
There we go.
Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 13. Dew point minus 14. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 18 right. 23. 18 left. 14. Departing runways 18 right. 23. 18 left. 14. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Bravo.
Oshkosh. All right, well, we'll land on 18.
Oshkosh information, Bravo, 05 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 13. Dew point minus 14. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 18 right. 23. 18 left. 14. Departing runways 18 right, 23, 18 left, 14. Advise on initial contact to have information. Bravo.
We'll take 18 left.
Oshkosh information. Bravo. 05 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear.
Okay.
Temperature 13.
Make a note to myself for that. 18 left. Go ahead and bug that already. There's our railroad tracks. And then since we're coming on 18, they will send us down Fisk Avenue and then have us fly a left downwind. So up here is where people get it wrong. They don't take the right-hand turn to Fisk Avenue. If you need left aileron, I got lots of it. If you need right aileron, it's in short supply. Boy, Dave, I bet that will be great. It looks so cool. Like, just the things they do from a controller perspective to get people in there is amazing in and of its own right. All right. Unless you're within a mile of Fisk, I am not talking to you, is what I hear the controllers say online all the time. But we're coming up to Fisk. See it on our screen. We're still with the railroad tracks. Still fighting left aileron.
American 2354, 170 knots to Ray at Ray tower 120.75.
Alright, 172 Ray tower there, American 2350, Morgan.
We've got farms and churches. There's a train on the train tracks. Good stuff. Okay, we're coming up to Fisk. And I can see Fisk Avenue goes right down there. Rock your wings. I can't rock to the other side. That's funny. I'd love to rock my wings, but I'm unable. Okay. There's the separation there where the highway goes up and then Fisk Avenue goes down that way. If I'm reading that correctly. And I like to think that I am. Yeah. So there it is.
Out at 2106, so maintain 4,000. 4,000, 2106. Out at 403, Chicago approach, reduce 5210, expect runway 10 center.
And then we're going to say that they tell us to turn base at the control tower and land on the next dot.
Out at 2106, reduce speed to 210.
trying to fly a level airplane here. It's taking quite a bit of effort. You on the window. Now we should be at 90 knots.
United 2106, turn right heading 360.
Right to 360, United 2106.
To get the full experience.
Maintain 180 knots.
180 knots, United 2106.
What are our frames? 60 on the mains. 55 over here. Interesting. Oops, I lost my altitude. Can't do this in the real thing. Gonna get you yelled at. Because there's departures coming out of Osh and you don't want someone to slam into you at 1,500 feet. That would be bad, would be the actual terminology for that. Would be bad.
United 2155, turn 5 degrees right, sun maintain 4,000.
All right, 90 knots, 1,800 feet. Playing by the rules.
03 to sun maintain
Over the highway.
5,000. United 2106, turn right.
There's the airport. They really did a nice scenery. You'll be able to see it as we come in, but there's a million airplanes down there. Quite cool.
Yeah, for approach envoy 3677 is 10,000 for 7,000. Information Oscar.
Envoy 3677, Chicago approach. Roger, expect runway 10 center. And reduce speed to 210, then continue your descent to 7,000.
Speed 210, then descent 7,000, exact 10,000.
I will say that they want us to turn at the control tower and land on the green dot. I think it's got green. They would have us come over about now. Let's go flaps.
Right now we're in the clear, just a little bit of rain. You turned us right in front of the line of weather. Nice job.
Oh.
Turn right heading 360.
I don't know if you heard that, United pilot. Saying good job to the controller.
United 2106, maintain 170 knots till Ray, contact O'Hare Tower.
Okay, it's going to be interesting to try to land this thing with my diminished controls, but we'll try. There's a purple dot.
United 403, reduce speed to 180, then descend to maintain 4,000.
We'll go final flaps now because they're going to bring us straight to the numbers. There's the yellow dot. We'll land on the second one, not on the first one. So the yellow dot will come in on right. Where's the control tower? There it is. Yeah, okay, we're going to land on the yellow dot.
7,250 knots, Oscar, United 2155, turn right heading 060.
A beam. The tower. Here we come.
Envoy 3602, Chicago.
Easy turning this way.
10 for 10 center. Slowing now to 210 knots, 10 center, Envoy 3602. United 2155, 10 miles from Ray, maintain 3,000 till south and low clouds are cleared out west runway 10 center, approach. United 403, turn right heading 360, descend and maintain 3,000.
Green dot.
Envoy 3620, correction, Envoy 3677.
Use all my rudder and deflection to try to straighten it out.
At 2155, maintain 170 knots till Ray, contact O'Hare Tower, Ray 120.75.
Hard to control. Pretty close. Oh, I had no rudder in. That was funny. In a frightening way. Flaps up. Taxi directly off. I don't see any flagmen waving at me. They have custom flagmen in here. We'll go down here where the party is.
Headed 403, turn right, heading 060, intercept the localizer.
Yeah, so I had almost full left rudder to try to keep the airplane straight and level when we came in there. And as soon as I landed, the airplane went crazy. Gosh, this is a party. Think we can find a place for me to set up shop? This is quite the scenery.
Roger that, 10-3000, over there, 657.
Envoy 3602, descend and maintain 4000.
Looks like these spots are all taken, but I'll just pull up and tell them that I believe I have VIP parking. I think I've got, yeah. I'm with the PilotEdge crew. I think I'm supposed to park right next to that other little Cessna. Right here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your understanding. I'll just pull it straight in. We can turn it around later.
Envoy 3677, turn right, heading 360.
Well, there you go. That was a fun experience. See what else we have in the chat. Very bad landing. No procedures followed. Well, actually, Blue Pass, if you're flying into Oshkosh, that is the NOTAM for exactly how you're supposed to land coming into Oshkosh. But for a standard landing that's not for the world's largest air show, yes, that is not what you would do. You would never turn amidships and land on a normally closed runway that has dots on it. All right, well, that was fun. Thanks for watching, and try to work on my procedures. Just following what's in the NOTAM, man. Just following what's in the NOTAM. And camera held out. Things seem to work. I'm not necessarily a fan of having the iPad on the screen, but we can see how that goes. And thanks for tuning in this weekend. We'll do this with a lot of people with virtual traffic. PilotEdge SimVenture's fly in probably Sunday. And I'll try to put that broadcast up way ahead of time so that people know when it's going to happen. Thanks for watching.